Hello and welcome to the Program Management in the Art of Communication Certification Program. We're in our fourth course, Designing Project Information Hubs for Program and Project Performance, and we're in our first week where we're talking about project communication networks. So in Module 2, we'll talk about how to build a communication network for a project, and this is part 1.
To build effective program and project communication networks, we're going to rely on the information lifecycle model. This is a fundamental concept in the course, and you'll see it several times, as it's a great way of pulling together how information flows through our communication networks. So the first part of the information lifecycle model is create. This is where we're creating data. And what kind of data are we creating, and for who and why? So let's take project status reports. Our team reports on the status of their task. That's data for us, the program or project managers. And why are they reporting on it? To help us understand how the project is progressing or the program is progressing. The second part of this information lifecycle model is storage. Where is the data being stored? How is it being stored? Who can access it? How can we update that information if we have to, or our data if we have to? And the authenticity of the data. So with our store, we're looking at things like shared network drives, project management information system, SharePoint. So that's where it could go, the data. How it's being stored, electronic format. If you're still around doing paper, maybe in a paper format. It could be part of a spreadsheet, or it could be part of a database in the project management information system. And why this is important is because it tells us how we can access that data, and also how that data might be updated. And we want to make sure that the storage system does not distort or otherwise unexpectedly transform that data, because we want to make sure the data that's created and that is stored, it's authentic, that it's a true and accurate representation of what that team member or stakeholder meant when they created that data in the first place. Our third part is, how do we use this data? And this is where we actually start turning into information, because we're taking that data and we're putting it into context. So our team has reported on the status of the project. They put it into their project management information system. I, as the program or project manager, are pulling it out. I'm running some calculations on it, maybe some earned value estimates or whatever. And I'm creating, this new kind of information from that data, and I'm putting it into the context of, let's say, earned value. I can also put it in the context of any other kind of budget system I'm working with, or any other kind of framework, so that I can give some meaning around the raw data that's been given to me. And then I want to share this data and share this information. Let's say, for example, I want to report out to the senior executives and our stakeholders the project status. Now, I just don't give them the raw data that may be contained in an Excel spreadsheet. What I will do is I'll take that data and I'll transform it and give it, context, so it becomes information. And then I'll put that information maybe into a PowerPoint slide so that our senior executives can understand it better, okay? Or our stakeholders can understand the meaning of that information now, that data that's put into context. Now, once I've done that, we can have an archive. And let's say I do several presentations, and I want to make sure the presentations are archived. I also make sure that the raw data is archived. Now, you may say to yourself, well, how's that different from storage? And think about it this way. Storage is kind of the short-term solution for this. And I know some cases, short-term storage could be a long time. I've worked with network drives that have been around for years, maybe even a decade or so. But at some point, you want to archive the data, and you want to put it in a place where it's safe, so that you can access it when you need to, and also verify that it's a true and accurate representation. So I may have my data on a shared network drive, or I may have my data in the project management information system, but I'll also send it to an archive, so it's in another place. So let's say if the network drive goes down or my project management information system fails, my archive still has those records. And you may have heard of the term continuity of operations. This is kind of the concept here. So let's say if something happens to your network drive and you lose all the data, you can always go back to the archive and reproduce that data if you need to, or store it for maybe some research later on about the effectiveness of your projects in your enterprise.
Hi,
I hope you're enjoying this free lesson from the University of Maryland's Project Management Center for Excellence. If you want to check out more lessons just like this one, click the link in the description below where you'll be able to go to our website on executive project management. There, you can find edX courses, professional short courses where you can learn from an instructor like me, as well as request custom team training for you and your organization. All right, let's get back to the lesson and I'll see you at the end.
Now, the final part of the information lifecycle, we call it destroy, but it's more like disposition. In other words, we're not going to destroy all the records. We have records managers and the legal department telling us which records we should keep. And you have some records you're going to keep, they say, for eternity. You have some records that you're going to keep maybe 5-7 years, depending on the tax regulations. And you have some records you can probably dispose of in maybe a year or so, or even a shorter term. The idea here is that with compliance, regulatory compliance, legal compliance, some records must be kept in case there is a tax audit or a legal action, and those records are used in litigation. So one of the things as a program or project manager is you want to make sure you are talking to your records managers and your legal department about the records you're producing on your project and exactly how you should dispose of them or maintain them in the archive. So that's the information lifecycle. So how does this actually talk about information flowing through your network? Well, when you look at this, information is created somewhere in your network. You've got other places in the network that stores that information. You've got people that access that stored information to use it to create products that then also flow through the network, which are shared with other network members. And then you got to think about, well, when that information leaves my network and goes into archive or is destroyed, it's gone out of the network here. So you can see how the information lifecycle is, where is information being created in my network, and how does it go through its life cycle, and am I doing it the right way in the most effective and efficient way? And that's what we're going to talk about the rest of the course on how to do this.
Hey there, did you enjoy that lesson as much as I did? If you did, go ahead and give us a like. If you want to see another one, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, put them below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Moreover, is there somebody in your life who really needs this lesson right now? If so, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next lesson where you can learn even more from the University of Maryland Project Management Center for Excellence. Thanks so much.